Hey guys, I am Anubhav Agrawal. I graduated from Climate Federal University this year, that is 2018. It's 22nd September, I guess. Maybe yes. It's 22nd September, and yes, this video is all about Fmge. So the first thing, that came to my mind, it was in fifth year, that whether to take coaching or not, because that is the most common question you will come across in last 2 years of your graduation. So some of my friends they took coaching after fifth year, and they're also in coaching this year. I mean, after 6 year also after graduating. I was a bit confused whether to take. I mean, go for entire coaching or to stay in Delhi and study without coaching, or to stay at home. I decided to stay at home because see, I cannot study continuously for a very long time, like 6 hours continuously. No, I cannot. I think most of us cannot. So, and I also study in bursts of say 90 minutes or 2 hours, and then I take break for 15-20 minutes, or maybe less than that, just to freshen up. So with coaching, I had some issues like, first of all, it varies from person to person. The way you study, the way you grasp the things. So for some, it's really good to take those extra coaching, and for some, it's not. Well, I'm not entirely sure that's a good decision or not, and that's why this video is there. I'll be making these videos to record my progress and how I'm doing, and whether ultimately I'm able to clear the exam or not. So, well, I started studying properly in mid-August. Uh, I'm not sure exact date, but somewhere around 20th of August, and probably I started the opposite, like the way it's done, and that was from medicine. And the reason was because medicine is a bit clear to me. That's why I started with medicine. But generally, people said even in coaching that you should start with the preclinical subjects like anatomy, physiology, pathology, and pharmacology, all those subjects. And ultimately, it will be easier to do medicine. And yes, that's actually true. My bad. And I have finished about six subjects, I guess. Yeah, six subjects, and I started pharmacology yesterday night. So yes, another important thing is the material, the source material from which you are studying. I have this. Okay, let me show you. So my main material is the notes, and these are the notes from DMs. And these notes belongs to Professor Gobind Rai Garg for pharmacology. Plus, for some extra, just a little more detailed view, I have this rooms. This is, I think, 2018 edition, if I'm not mistaken. And for objectives and everything, well, the most famous book from Deepak Mahava and Siraj Ahmed, the Fmge Solutions. This is also, I guess, 2018 edition. I couldn't get the latest one. I really wanted to start. And also, if there are some topics which are difficult to understand or just not enough, I also have the individual subject books like this, Pharmacology by Dr. Gobind Rai Garg and Sparsh Gupta. These are just for some extended understanding of the topic. And these are not my main source of information. First of all, the main problem here is the timing. I mean, definitely there's not much time to do all these individual subject books, but I do have them just for reference. So my main source is these notes. I have notes for almost all the subjects, and these are the subjects I finished. So that's all about the source material. So those are the books or the source material I'm referring for the exam. Now, another thing that I had to decide was how to study. Like, We all know that in coaching they teach you some material, and they also take tests, and there's another test series of individual subjects. So I thought I'll try to mimic that, and I also have another thing. I have few applications like pre-PG and prep ladder. Yes, they're quite good. But for prep ladder, if I'm not mistaken, you have to pay some amount to get the entire material. So it's up to you whether you want to pay or not. But pre-PG, yes, it's good. But the thing is, it's not specifically for Fmge, and it has aims, NEET, PG, and all those questions too. Okay, so the way I study right now, or I plan to study, was to read a particular chapter, a particular topic, and solve those questions from this FMG solutions by Deepak Marwa, and check with how many questions I get right. So, if for example, I read a particular topic, let's say general pharmacology, and there were I think 30 or 35 questions. So, out of those 35 questions, if I get like 20 right and 15 wrong, so I'll read the description for those 15 wrong, like what actually where I was wrong, and those things, and then I'll go move to the next topic. And ultimately, when there's a section in these FMG solutions after every subject. There's, I think, board review questions, and those questions are from all topics, and there are about 100 to 120 questions per subject, or even less than that. So once I finish a subject, I just go through rapidly about regarding all the topics what I read, and then I'll solve those board questions. So that it's more like a short review or something, so short revision. So there's that, and then I'll move to next subject, and I repeat this. I'm not sure whether it will work or not, but that's how I planned. And as I said, this video is all about an experiment I did, and I hope I'll get better results. I just hope I'll clear it. Well, that I'll get to know in January, and it's September. And I also made plan to finish all the subject once and then start the cycle of revision. So I think I've planned to give about 40 days for revision, entirely for revision of all the subjects, and I'll try to finish about 2 cycles of revision. So that's all about my first video, I guess. I hope you like it. If you like it, please subscribe, and if you don't, just give thumbs down.